This program airs statewide on California Public Television and is a California's Gold classic. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association. Hi, I'm Huell Hauser, and here we are in the Salinas Valley. This is southern Monterey County. We were on our way from down the road here up to Carmel to do a story, but we spotted something here on the side of the road and we had to pull over and investigate it. What we saw was a field, as far as you can see, of cactus, and we drove down the road until we found this gentleman. Your name, sir, is?
Bruce Barsati.
And we just kind of walked in your door this morning, didn't we?
You sure did.
And asked you what?
What are all those plants for?
So, what are all these plants for? I've never seen, now I'm from Los Angeles, so I'm a city boy, but I've never seen a field like this full of cactus. What do you do with all these cactus?
These cactus are cultivated basically for the fruit, which is called a cactus pear or a prickly pear, which is basically a dessert. It's a fruit. It's kind of a kiwi, watermelon, strawberry type flavor. It's got a lot of seeds, got a lot of stickers, and it's served in a lot of restaurants. They're shipped all over the United States. Mostly to the terminal markets on the East Coast is the big push for them. Some of them now are starting to show up on the West Coast. We'll ship anywhere from 2,000 to 10,000 boxes of these a day.
You're kidding.
No, it's a very big market. It's kind of an obscure market. It's more of your European nationalities know more of what goes on with the cactus pears.
Now, what are we talking about when we talk about cactus, what it is you're shipping? Basically, what is it you get off of these cactus?
Like any fruit, it starts off as a flower. As you can see on a lot of these plants, you have a flower that grows into a fruit. I've got here what is a small one. They turn a bright red color. They've got a lot of stickers on them. That's why I'm not touching it. When you peel it, you actually cut the ends off, hold it, then peel the outside skin off, and it reveals a real pink, red, fleshy fruit.
So that's what everybody wants.
This is what they're after. And there's also another byproduct called nopales, which is the small leaf
right here,
which is eaten by the Spanish community.
Right, because we've been to some markets where they have those on sale. You can fry them up, you can cook them up.
This is a byproduct. This is something that now is starting to be marketed a lot more, but basically they're after the cactus pears, which is this right here, and they're harvested all year round. All year we get flowers, blooms, and fruit.
Now, is that why I don't see any of the, we found one on the ground, because they've just been harvested, right?
Right, it was just harvested last week.
So they come through here how often harvesting these things?
Every 2 to 2.5 weeks.
And all of this is just for that? There's no use for the bigger...
It's a cactus. The people from Texas come up here and they can't believe that in California we're actually growing cactus. In Texas they try to kill it. Here we grow it.
Now do they get taller than this, bigger than this?
Yeah, these are 4-year-old plants. They'll get about 6 feet tall. They're constantly trimmed and hedged to keep the growth stunted and bushed out.
Really? And do you ever have people coming by here wanting to buy these for their yard?
No. It's a cactus.
Well, no, but I mean some people like cactus and they're, as plants.
A few people have taken, leaves and stuck them in the ground. You stick the leaf in the ground and you've got an instant plant.
Yeah, but I do bet you have a lot of people like us curious, don't you?
We have so many so that we do have signs on the road explaining what the cactus are about, so we don't get that many people asking us questions.
We saw some of the signs, but we wanted to hear it from somebody in person.
Well, that's the whole story. This is what it's about. It's actually the crazy Californians growing cactus.
Well, thank you, sir, very much. Now, this was an unplanned stop. We were on our way to actually film a story down the road in Carmel, but we saw this, pulled over, and kind of found out what it was all about. And this brings to mind the whole concept of things that we see on the side of the road as we're driving down the road, things that are unplanned, things that just kind of catch our attention. That's what this entire episode is all about. We call it Bits and Pieces because we're going to be doing a lot of stories, just little bits and pieces of California that we see along the side of the road as we're on our way to do the larger stories. You have been the first of you're our first bit and piece here.
Well, thank you, sir. It's been fun.
And that's what this program is called, Bits and Pieces, as we all continue our search together. What did you do?
I just hit myself with it and I'm full of stickers.
As we all continue our search together for California's gold. Well, leaving the cactus behind, our next accidental discovery occurred as we were driving through one of the prettiest parts of our state, the Central Coast. Now we were heading for the Santa Ynez Valley, and just outside the little town of Buellton, right off Highway 101, we spotted something that at first we couldn't believe. Well, this takes the cake. Look what we found here on the side of the road. Your name, sir, is?
Colin Cooper, Huell.
Mr. Cooper, and these are obviously ostriches.
Right. The dark ones are the males, just so you don't get confused.
Now, I guess the question would be, what are ostriches doing in the Santa Ynez Valley?
Well, we came up here from Santa Barbara a couple of years ago, about 7 years ago, and they were the very first. However, they adapt really well to this climate. They love San Ynez.
Really? Now, what's your background with ostriches? Why ostriches?
Well, I come from South Africa. I was born and raised there. And ostriches are the biggest, they were the fourth biggest export in South Africa in the old days after gold, diamonds, and wool.
Really?
Ostrich feathers.
Ah.
And they discovered you could pick feathers without damaging the bird or even hurting them. They don't have any nerve endings there.
Look at these, Louis. Now they're pecking at your arm.
Yeah, they're just curious. They're all friendly.
If I put my arm over here, will they peck at me?
Sure, preferably if you had some jewelry, diamonds and gold, they would prefer that. But they'll peck on your watch if you.
Oh!
Watches are lovely. They like
now,
watches.
They won't hurt.
No.
Oh boy.
They don't have any teeth, so they're just curious. This is being friendly.
Wow.
If they were going to be nasty, they would kick you.
Really? That's how they defend themselves.
Right.
Now, how many ostriches? Look at this. As far as we can see, all the way around, Louis, we've got ostriches. How many, what do you say, head of ostrich do you have?
Yeah, you could say neck of ostrich, perhaps. We have about 200 at this ranch. We have our other ranch in San Ynez.
And you sell them for meat?
No, these are our breeders. We pick up the eggs every day, incubate them, and hatch them and raise the chicks.
I gotcha. And what about the feathers?
And the feathers are special. Ostrich feathers have always been, since before Roman times, big demand for the feathers.
Oh boy, look, they really just come right over to you, don't they?
Right. These are breeding hens, and they might even lay down if you like. I'll go next to one of them and you'll see she'll lay down.
Really? Why will she lay down?
Well, I think she wants to breed. We'll see. Maybe this one doesn't, but...
What do they feel? Can I touch one?
Yeah. See, that's clucking when she puts her wings out like that.
That's what?
It's called clucking. When they want to breed, they put their wings out.
Oh, so she's ready to breed. Boy, they're strange looking animals. Can I, may I?
Sure, pat her.
Oh. They're kind of intimidating.
Well, they can feel that too. They say they're very close to dinosaurs as well, which is interesting. They're the only birds with only 2 toes. You might notice that their legs are very unusual. They're very fast. They're the fastest animals on 2 legs too. They run at 40 to 45 miles an hour.
Wait a minute, the fastest animal on 2 legs?
That's right.
Oh, look at them, look at them. Now I'm getting braver. I'm gonna put my, oh! Whoa, they are really, whoa.
The females peck it a little bit harder. I don't know why, but they do.
Boy, look how they go after you. You just...
Well, I'm pretty used to this. It makes them relax and feel comfortable if you let them peck you.
So this isn't an aggressive thing they're doing. This is just a curiosity thing.
Absolutely.
A love thing.
That's right. Little love kisses.
Well, this has been very interesting. Who would have thought that up here in the middle of the Central Coast in California, there's no history to them ever having been here in the past, years and years and years ago, is there?
Well, they used to be here in the late 1800s. There was a ranch in San Ynez on State Street, Santa Barbara on State Street, believe it or not, as well as in Carpinteria, and the most famous one was in South Pasadena. And that was when the feathers were so valuable that you could pay for the feathers with a weight, equal weight of gold. Quite remarkable animals.
Really? So there is a history of ostriches being in California.
Right, they haven't been here maybe for 60 or 70 years, but they were here. The conditions are really good for them.
What was the sound that ostrich just made?
Well, the good thing about ostriches is they actually don't make a sound. They have no voice box.
But he made, I heard air coming.
Yeah, he might have hissed a little bit, but that's about as much as they do. And the males in the breeding season blow their necks up and expel air really fast.
Look at them attacking your...
Yeah.
Look at this. Whoa!
Hello, honey.
Well, this has been very interesting. Now we're going to go inside for a quick look at what you've got in your, because you got a stand. That's kind of what caught our eye, was the stand, and then we looked over and we saw all these birds, and it was just, it really caught our imagination.
Well, great. They really love it here too. We range them in one big area, so that's very much back to nature. We try to do it the natural way.
So they're just out on the open range.
Right, and you can see the fencing is not very substantial. It's they like to be there. They don't want to get out. If they wanted to, they would come out.
Now, what are you buying in here?
The ground ostrich.
The ground ostrich. Now, have you ever had any ostrich before?
No, that's why I'm buying the ground, because I figured that we could use it in different recipes.
Do you have any idea what it's going to taste like?
Beef.
You think so? Is that what it tastes like?
Just like beef, very lean, extremely lean, no fat in it.
So it's healthy.
Very.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you.
And what have we got over here?
Okay, excuse me. These are empty egg shells. They're the biggest eggs in the world, as you probably know. It come from the biggest bird. And the teachers tell me they're the largest single cell as well. So it's of great interest for the teachers and
The
for
largest
the kids. Single cell.
single cell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And these are the fresh ones, which means you can eat them, but it also is impressive because they're extremely heavy and strong.
Oh my gosh.
They weigh about 3.5 to 4 pounds.
These are heavy eggs.
And they are hard. So the birds weigh 300 pounds and they lay on them. So you can imagine 300-pound bird. This has to be a real special shell.
Now, what do you do with these eggs?
We have instructions here how to open them and keep the shell. So you can have your omelets and have your egg and eat it.
Boy, this would make a heck of an omelet.
It's the equivalent of 2 dozen chicken eggs. So
Really?
you have to have a few friends and neighbors around.
And does it taste the same as a
Right.
chicken egg?
Just like a regular egg, real mild flavor.
And you've got ostrich eggs. Look over here, Louis. They're all decorated up. The ostrich, and you got the ostrich feathers down here, key rings, ostrich. Look at this. This is an ostrich.
These are beautiful, aren't they? I mean, they're real unique. Just such a beautiful, unique.
Women use those in like boas and things.
That's
didn't
right.
they?
That's right.
Hats. And,
We've got a boa here you can look at too.
Oh, there it is down here. That's the way they used to wear them. Well, this has been very interesting. I can guarantee you when we were heading up here today, if anybody had told us that this is where we would have ended up, I wouldn't have believed it.
Oh, well, it's one of the sites. People love it and the birds do real well. So between, it's a win-win situation. People love it and the birds do too.
And it's very much a part of California's past history, present history, and California's gold. Well, there we were, heading down State Highway 118 in Ventura County. Now, this is the Los Pozos Valley, an agricultural area where they grow everything from lemons to oranges to avocados, all kinds of vegetables. But we spotted something growing in a field right beside the road that was impossible to pass by. Well, I'm standing here with Dave and Bill in this unbelievable place. Louis, pull back with your camera and show everybody where we are. As far as you can see, over in this direction, and of course this is just half the field. Louis is going to pan back over in a minute and show the rest of the field that goes all the way over to the road where we were heading down the road just a little while ago. And gentlemen, this field of marigolds is a traffic stopper, isn't it?
You bet it's a traffic stopper.
We got here at a good time of the year.
Well, one of the things that we have on weekends that we do actually almost have a traffic jam at times, because people will stop and take pictures.
Yeah.
And you see little places where they bring their kids out and take pictures. So
I bet.
there is a lot of people out here on weekends.
Now tell us about this. What is this all about?
Well, this particular marigold is a scarlet marigold, and I grow this field for Pan American Seed, which is Bill Orchard here, and we contract it by the pound, and then they take the seed and they take it from there and they do their thing with it.
So you're growing these marigolds not for the flowers,
No,
but for the seed.
Just for the seed alone.
How long has your family been in this business?
Well, I have been in the business for 40 years.
Growing marigolds?
Growing marigolds. And my brother was actually in it before I was.
So this is a family business.
Well, we started off with burpee seed.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back quite a ways.
Yeah.
So,
And marigolds, tell me something good about marigolds. You told me they have kind of a smell to them.
well, they have a very good smell. I mean, you when you get back over to your car, you're going to get in there and have a nice little aroma to you.
It's not the flower that smells.
No, it's the plant itself.
The plant itself has a rather, it sticks to your clothing, doesn't
sticks
it?
to your clothing.
But marigolds are beautiful.
Well, they're a flower that'll grow, and it's very easily to grow. You can grow them in your gardens at home, and you get lots of bloom like this, and they last a long time, and it's probably one of the easiest flowers to grow. But in the type of thing that we're into, as we get into the seed production, there's a lot of timing that has to be, and correct timing to get your maximum bloom, to get your maximum harvest.
Take a lot of water?
Not a whole bunch. You got to be careful with water.
Yeah.
You got to know when to put it on and to take it and pull it off. Don't put any more water to it, which gets in there the timing part, you know.
Now, Bill, it seems you're from the seed company, Pan American Seed. It seems a shame to waste all these pretty flowers, but really what you're interested in are the seed to make more flowers.
Well, we're interested in the seeds because those are what we ultimately sell. But the interesting part about this variety, this is really not a garden variety, a home garden variety. It's a unique variety or type of business we're in, one of our marigold businesses. This seed is actually sold around the world, and the marigold flowers are grown, and the flowers are harvested in full bloom around the world. And then these petals contain a pigment. The pigment is called xanthophyll, and you can see how it colors my hands. This pigment is extracted from the petals around the world, and the pigment actually is used to color chickens' eggs, the egg yolk.
What?
You heard it right.
When they're up on wire, they don't get to the coloring that they need for the yolks to be dark, so they add this
to their
coloring.
feed.
Yeah.
To the chicken feed.
So wait a minute, this whole thing is for chicken feed.
This whole field is ultimately for chicken feed.
Yeah.
This isn't going for people's garden.
No, not this variety.
This isn't going for people's vases and they're on their, this is going for chicken feed.
Chicken feed.
Now that's a shocker. I've never heard of such a thing.
And
there's enough business, there's enough market for that?
There's a big business worldwide. 20,000 kilos of seed probably we sell worldwide of this type of marigold.
Oh my gosh. That is amazing. Now you also, I'm sure, sell seed for those of us who want to plant it in gardens.
We have probably 50 to 60 varieties of marigolds, from the short ones to the tall ones that we sell for the home garden.
But Louis and I chose the field that you're growing for chicken feed to stop in.
Yeah. We told you it was going to be different.
Wow, this is amazing. Now that I had no idea you were going to tell me that. We hadn't rehearsed that, had we?
No.
Oh my gosh.
You don't normally see a marigold this orange red, but it's specifically developed to have more pigment in the petals.
Oh wow. Well, let's take one more look around, Louis, because this is a lot of chicken feed out here.
A lot of chicken feed.
And this will be coloring the yolks of chickens, chicken eggs,
Right.
all over the world.
Yes.
Right here, and explain exactly where we are.
Well, we're in Ventura County, and we're in the Las Bosas Valley.
Uh-huh.
We're between Somas and Satacoy.
Right on the side of
On
118. And these are in bloom for just a couple of weeks, or?
Oh no, they'll be in bloom probably for close to a month.
Look, there it is, right over there. There's the highway where we were traveling down. I tell you what, this is amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you, gentlemen, for filling us in on this. This is a
Thank you.
very bizarre bit of, Louis, come on back over here and let me say goodbye to these gentlemen. This is a very bizarre bit of California's gold. This is gold, all right. You'd call this gold, wouldn't you?
Bet,
Yes.
you bet.
This is the strangest story I've
There's
ever
a
seen.
lot of money this stuff gets involved with when you get leaves here and it goes to the, gets into the dyes. Think of the chickens and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
quite a story.
Peru, China, Mexico,
These
India,
go to Peru,
The seed-
China,
the seed goes- the seed
Mexico.
goes there.
Ecuador.
Really?
Yeah.
Why can't they grow their own marigolds?
Well, they grow their own. Well, we've developed varieties that are higher in pigment and higher in yield.
I
so
got you.
that's what we're after.
Well, this has been interesting. This is a first. I've never heard of such a thing. Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This has been, well, this is the finest and most interesting and unique example of California's gold I think we've ever found. Right here on the side of the highway, a field full of brilliantly colored marigolds on their way around the world for use as chicken feed. Well, this is a very appropriate way to end this particular adventure. You know, the whole program has been, well, we've called it bits and pieces because we've had all these little vignettes of places that we have discovered along the road as we were heading for our main story, places that we stumbled across quite unexpectedly. And here we are today in this beautiful historic town of San Juan Bautista in the State Historic Park. We're standing here in front of the old Plaza Hotel, which has been restored. We're getting ready to get run over here. I'm with Ranger Martinez. And Ranger, we're not here to look at the front of the hotel, are we?
No, we're going to look at something behind the hotel.
We're going to look at something behind the hotel. We had no idea this was here. And I was walking along the street with you and pointed up at this thing and asked you what it was. And the answer was quite surprising. Tell us about this historic structure right up there.
This is a two-story outhouse, and it was built about 1860, 1870s for women. The women travelers who were coming to the hotel stayed up in the parlor, which is upstairs, and so that they wouldn't have to come downstairs and mingle with perhaps a more colorful clientele of the men in the bar room, they could walk across this catwalk and use their own facilities upstairs.
So this was a two-story, a second-story outhouse for use by the women and I guess the children as well.
Right, women and children. The two lower outhouses are set off to the side. There's a central shaft down the middle, of course, so that people could use the lower outhouses at the same time.
Oh my gosh. Do you get comments about this, questions about this? What do people think that was?
We get comments all the time, and lots of them think it's a two-story outhouse, but they won't say. They'll come and say, what's that two-story thing behind the hotel? And then you say, it's an outhouse. And I said, I thought so, but we weren't sure. How does it work?
Well, you don't go into great detail about how it works, do you?
No, usually not. But people are concerned that things are happening down below that shouldn't be, so we explain to them that they're offset and it's a separate shaft.
And actually, that's not a functioning outhouse now, is it?
No, it's not. And it's not open to the public to walk across the catwalk.
You have indoor plumbing here now.
Yes, we do, fortunately.
Well, this has been a perfect way to end our program. All these little bits and pieces of California history that we've discovered along the road. I hate to tell you, I think this tops them all, literally. The second-story outhouse here in San Juan Bautista. This and all of the little bits and pieces of California history that we've discovered along the way, all very much a part of California's gold. Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed this adventure. If you'd like to see it again or share it with your family or friends, or perhaps donate a copy to your local school or library, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727 and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.